Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. Stand up for your country. Two big media stories today. CNN guy Jeff Zucker got fired. Now, I try very hard not to revel in the negativism when people I don't like, bad things happen to them. They call it Schadenfreude, I think, in Germany, something like that. I try not to do that. That's not Christian. This is a bad guy. Bad guy. It's karma that he went down. And I'm going to let Bernie Goldberg talk about this, and then I'll weigh in after Bernie. But the Talking Points memo this evening is on Whoopi Goldberg, who got suspended late last night by ABC News Disney after 36 hours. You figured, they might suspend her right after she says that race had nothing to do with the Holocaust. Maybe they do it then. No, they waited 36 hours. And the reason I did that is because ABC Disney is woke and committed left-wing corporation. It is, top to bottom. And if Whoopi Goldberg had been Meghan McCain, who used to be on The View as a conservative voice, fired immediately. I mean, you remember what happened to that ditzy woman, Sharon Osbourne? CBS fired her because she said that criticism of Meghan Markle was okay or some stupid thing I didn't even follow. Well, she was shown the door real fast. But now Whoopi Goldberg, and you got to understand, she is a pretty big star over there, and they didn't want to discipline her, but they had to. Now, we went over yesterday, and I'm not going to do it again, the mistake that Ms. Goldberg made when she said the Holocaust was not about race. So Whoopi needs to take an anthropology course, okay? And maybe that would explain what a race really is. To her, race is skin color. No. Okay? It all has to do with tribalism and how human beings developed and where they were on the planet. That's what it has to do with. All right? So anthropology course would be good for Whoopi Goldberg. And therefore, I chalked it up as she doesn't know anything about the Holocaust. So I am, and this is true, sending her a copy of my book, Killing the SS, which is easy to read and will tell you everything about how this horror, perhaps the worst horror in modern civilization, took place. The execution of more than 6 million innocent people. Why it took place, who did it, how they were punished, that's all in that book. All right? Now, I turned on The View today. My hand was shaking like this. The remote dropped a couple of times just to see how they would handle the suspension of Whoopi. So Behar opened the show, spent 5 seconds. Whoopi Goldberg will be back in 2 weeks. And then she made a face like, okay, that was it. And then they launched into attacks on pro-life people, which is, what they do. So I guess Behar was ordered to do that by ABC News. Remember, ABC News is in charge of The View, if you can believe this. So the importance of this story is not Whoopi Goldberg. It's not The View, which is a piffle. I mean, what is it? 2.5 million people a day watch this thing at 11 in Eastern time. Nobody watches it. Nobody knows what's going on. I mean, but it gets a lot because ABC News, Disney's behind it, gets a lot of publicity, but nobody pays attention to them. It's just like nothing. However, Disney, ABC, that's something. And to see how they handle something like this is very instructive to how powerful these left-wing corporations are. The mass of America does not understand this. They don't understand that on television, sometimes on the internet, radio, newspapers, what used to be independent news agencies are no longer independent. Most Americans don't get that. When they turn on the ABC World News Tonight or NBC News, whatever, they don't understand that what they're being told has to be approved in a general sense by the corporation. And if you run down the corporations, they're all, the media corporations, left to far left. Disney is the most woke, PC, cancel culture corporation that I know of in this country. That's how bad it is. And I used to work for ABC, and when I worked there, when Peter Jennings was the anchor, I didn't have any problem in these lines. I mean, I wasn't a commentator. I just was a reporter, a correspondent. I just did my job. But it wasn't like left-wingers all over the place and graffiti, saying Bernie Sanders is great. It wasn't any of that at ABC News when I was there. At CBS, when I worked there was a little bit because of Dan Rather. And Dan Rather was a left-wing guy, ardent left-wing guy. And he hired other ardent left-wing guys. That was apparent to me as a correspondent. And they killed the CBS people. A couple of my stories because they didn't like, they were true, but they didn't like the tone or whatever. Okay, I knew what they were doing. I didn't last long at CBS. I did very well at ABC. And I was at CBS when Goldberg was there, but he was in Miami, so I didn't see him very much. No, he was in Atlanta because they sent me down to Miami to get killed in Central America, which I almost did, by the way. Their plan almost worked, but I was too quick. Anyway, getting back to ABC Disney, I think we can sum it up this way. If Whoopi Goldberg had been a conservative woman, she would have been fired. What she did was not anti-Semitic. She is not a hater. Behar, Hostin, Navarro, they are. These three, they're haters. Okay, if you don't agree with them, they hate you. Goldberg, not so much. I know her for a long, long time. She goes along with it, big paycheck, but that's not what's in her heart. She didn't mean to offend anyone. She just thought that race is solely, exclusively about skin color, which is, again, preposterous. So she'll be sitting out for 2 weeks. Sharon Osbourne will never come back. And, if you really want to know what happened on The View, all you have to do is look at all the conservative commentators that they had. Let me just grab my list. I threw it in the bin here. So Meghan McCain, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Abby Huntsman, Candace Cameron Bure, all say they were mistreated over there. That's not right. ABC knows it. Clean it up. Now, I was going to run my soundbite about, I'm going to let Bernie Goldberg make this call in the middle of our discussion. I have a soundbite where Goldberg and Behar walked out when I told them it was inappropriate to build a mosque on the site of 9/11. If Goldberg wants to see the soundbite, because I played it before, I'll do it. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in America. I am an AMAC member, and you should be too. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful takes on today's news, and a magazine full of uncensored content that you will not find anywhere else. Most importantly, AMAC is working tirelessly to preserve the freedoms enshrined and secured by our Constitution. AMAC has become one of the most impactful organizations in America because more than just talk, AMAC gets things done. They are pushing back against the efforts to defund our police, weaken the borders, and replace your freedom with government control. But they need your help. Stand with me and more than 2 million patriots and join AMAC today at amac.us. That's amac.us. amac.us, and tell them O'Reilly sent you. From North Carolina, he is the purveyor, of course, of bernardgoldberg.com. Very fine website, which you should check in with regularly. Okay, so why don't we get to the CNN guy first? Jeff Zucker, I don't like him. Full disclosure, this is karma in my opinion. What say you?
I'm going to be very brief, Bill. He should have been fired a long time ago for taking a once proud, serious, very important news organization and turning it into just one more hyper-partisan, in his case, liberal piece of garbage. That's why he should have been fired. I mean, CNN, back when we were covering news in Central America, I was down there too, Bill, in Central America and South America, they were a serious news organization. Now they are just one more partisan hack operation. There are some good journalists there, just as there are at the other cable operations, but by and large, it's a liberal, hyper-partisan outfit, and it wasn't that way before, and it shouldn't be that way now.
Okay, but AT&T, which owns CNN, and they're now selling it, and that's really why Zucker got fired, Bernie. The new ownership, John Malone, the Discovery Channel, taking over CNN in June, they don't want Zucker. They don't like Zucker. They know exactly what you just said is true. He's destroyed the credibility of the channel, and the ratings are at an all-time low for them. So they didn't want him. Everybody knew at CNN that Zucker was having this relationship with another executive at that network. Everybody knew it, and it wasn't just her. But I'm not going to say any more because I don't care about that. So they could have dumped him a long time ago, Bernie, but they kept him until the new people, the new corporation, basically is moving in.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that CNN used to be something you could be proud of, and if you were competing against them, you took them seriously. I know I did. Now it's just another cable outfit. As far as I'm concerned, just like the other two cable outfits, they're left of center, the others, Fox is right of center. But you know what makes CNN worse than both MSNBC and Fox, in my opinion? CNN, even today, considers itself a serious.
Right, they won't admit it. The question is simple. You don't have one traditional or conservative anchor of any program on your network.
No,
it's one.
But Bill, but beyond that, they have anchors. Look, you could be a liberal in real life and be an objective anchor. That's fine with me. But they have anchors who think they're objective journalists who are saying the most outrageous, opinionated things on a regular basis. That's what makes CNN worse than the others. They contend. I don't know if they believe
the hypocrisy is greater.
Exactly.
The hypocrisy is greater.
Exactly.
All right, now, as a prominent Jewish American, when Whoopi Goldberg said what she said about the Holocaust, how did you react?
I'm going to surprise you, Bill. I'm going to surprise you. First, let me tell you that years ago, I was having lunch with some friends at a restaurant in Los Angeles. Somebody taps on my shoulder and says, I think we're related. I turn to see who this is, and it's Whoopi Goldberg. Somebody put her up to it. I was unaware of it. I laughed. She laughed. We had a nice chat. What she said the other day was sloppy. It was factually wrong, but it wasn't malicious, as you acknowledged. It was not an attack on Jewish people. I care about Jewish issues, not just because I'm Jewish. I care about Jewish issues. I care about Jewish survival. I care about the Holocaust. But she should not, in my opinion, should not have been suspended. This is a woke move. You could make a mistake from the other direction and nothing will happen to you. But if you make a mistake like she made, if you speak in a sloppy way the way she did, they'll go after you. And you know why this is important? Not just because of people like you or me or Whoopi Goldberg in the media who speak to a lot of people. Every single person listening to us now, and I mean this literally, every single person listening to us now, if you say the wrong thing, and I'm putting that in quotation marks, the wrong thing, You could be suspended. You could be canceled. That's the culture in which we now live.
You got to watch
and
it.
That is very, very dangerous.
Do you agree with me? If she had been a conservative woman, she would have been fired?
Question. No question.
Okay.
No question.
Why do you think it took ABC News 36 hours? She did apologize, Ms. Goldberg. I mean, this is how crazy it was. She makes her comment on Monday. She comes back on the air on Tuesday in a regular slot, says, I'm sorry, but here's what I was trying to say. It makes it worse because, as I said, you got to take an anthropology course to understand what race is. She obviously doesn't. She thinks it's skin color. It's a lot more than skin color. Okay. So ABC puts her back on the day after she does it and then suspends her late that night. Does that make any sense to you?
Look, none of it makes sense to me, so I'm not going to be worried about the timing of it. I'm saying she should not have been suspended, period. If you get suspended, if you get suspended for making a sloppy remark that's factually incorrect, who's safe? I'm not safe.
Nobody's safe. They all know it too. Everybody working at all the media corporations knows they're that far away from getting fired in a slip of the tongue. They all know it.
And to me, the important point is, and you hit on this, you can make a mistake in one direction and get away with it. You make a mistake in the other direction and you're in big trouble.
Okay. So do you want to see the walk-off again, or is that overplayed?
You can play it. I've seen it. Everybody has seen it.
You think, but do you want to? Would it enhance your day?
You know what, Bill? Just between me and you, everybody stop listening. Put your hands over your, Bill, you want to see it. Play it.
I don't want it. Doesn't matter to me, but I'm going to play it because it may be 10%. We have a lot of new people in Kazakhstan watching us all over the world. Roll a tape on it.
Let me break this to you. 70% of Americans don't want that mosque down there. So don't give me the we business.
I want to see that.
You want to bet on that? You want to bet? I'll show you that poll in a minute.
All I'm saying is that Americans
don't want it. Don't want it down there.
But why is that? But why aren't we saying...
Because it's inappropriate.
Why is it inappropriate when 70 families died? What are you
killed
talking
us
about?
on 9/11.
Oh, my God. That is...
Muslims didn't kill us on 9/11? Is that what you're saying?
Excuse me, extremists
What religion were they in?
What religion was Mr. McVeigh? Mr. McVeigh was an extremist
I'm
as well, and
telling you,
he killed people.
70% of the country.
I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here. I don't.
You're outraged about Muslims killed us on 9/11.
So think about how absurd this is.
Who was the guy with the 5 women?
That was me. I haven't gotten to the plastic surgeon lately. So anyway, think about this though. They were actually saying it was appropriate to build a mosque on the site of the World Trade Center.
Okay, so you revel in the absurdity of it. I see something else. You could have said something outrageous that they agreed with. No problem. That's the point. Certain views are acceptable.
Right.
Certain views, as you well know, are unacceptable. And the woke crowd, they're powerful people. They're not just a bunch of clowns.
And it wasn't that way back then, 2010, when that took place.
That's right. That's right.
I got a 50-50 on that. Half the nation was like applauding me, and the other half that.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about the American public at large. But these people run corporations. They have control over people's livelihoods. This is the left is worried about climate change. It's an existential threat. Okay, I'm worried about this. This is a threat to people's jobs, their livelihoods, their ability to pay the mortgage. This isn't about Whoopi Goldberg or you or me. And it isn't only about us. It's about, as I say, every single person, and I mean it literally, listening to us, because if you say the wrong thing at work, look out.
You bet. Bernie Goldberg, the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com. Always fun, Bernie. Thanks for helping us out. We'll talk to you soon, I hope. Are you looking for your next investment? Bill O'Reilly here. There are 8 reasons to look at the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund. stable monthly cash flow payouts with double-digit targeted bonus returns. They strategically develop in lower-risk, high-demand neighborhoods. Prime new construction is short on supply and high on demand. Diversification is safety from stock market risk. They have a short and long-term strategy for returns today and down the road. Specifically designed pandemic-hardened buildings. They are 15-year industry leaders with a proven track record. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines or want to diversify, please start your due diligence at NRIA.net or call 800-800-1414. That's easy, 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at NRIA.net.
Okay, the final thought today is there is a study from the Knight Foundation, and they asked college kids, do you fear speaking your mind on campus? And most of them do. No surprise. The far left is a stranglehold. Just like the far left dominates the media, the far left dominates most college campuses. And kids who are not far left will be punished on many of those campuses if they say something politically incorrect, because they'll be afraid. The snowflakes will be afraid. Oh, I'm afraid. 1 in 5 college students say they feel unsafe if other college students speak their mind. They're unsafe. These are the snowflake brigade. Okay? So what's happening on America's college campuses is horrible. I mean, when Marist College, my alma mater, goes woke, which was once a working class school, it's staggering. Okay, that is the final thought of the day, but I also want to extend it. This is going into grammar school and high school. So if you are a student and you say something that the cool kids don't like, the cool kids in many public schools will try to destroy that child. It is a hellacious problem leading to suicides. And the principals of the public schools, and I talked to one of them where this happened, they go, well, I can't police what happens off campus. That's their excuse. So the difference is this. My kids went to Catholic school. If you attend a Catholic school, most of them, and you do something like terrorize another student, even if you're off campus, the Catholic school holds the terrorizer responsible. Not in colleges, but I think the Catholic high schools and middle schools are the last line of defense. Maybe some other Christian schools as well do it. If you know one, send me that information, please. But this is so harmful to young people that they cannot speak their mind in a responsible way. We're not saying irresponsible stuff. We're not sticking up for that. But they can't speak their mind without the threat that they're going to be harmed. We've got to stop that. And I'm going to keep an eye on that, a heavy eye on it. Thank you for watching the No Spin News tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's noticed everything is getting more expensive. We are in the biggest economic crisis since 2008, with a government that's printing trillions of dollars. Consumer prices at the highest we've seen in 30 years. Inflation certainly here. And if the government continues its out-of-control printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world's reserve currency. While paper money will eventually have a shrinkage in value, there are real tangible things that will always maintain value. So how do you protect your money, your retirement, your savings? American Hartford Gold can show you how to hedge your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. All it takes to get started is a short phone call. and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call them now, 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.